Greetings everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and you're back in the apartment where we're currently housing a few of the arcade machines. And I want to formally introduce you to 2018's Top Tier Arcade review and walkthrough. Yes, we've come to the end of the year. It's been an emotional one. We'll get into that momentarily. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you all my games that I have since acquired this year, and also what I have in my collection as well. So we're going to jump right into it, not to waste time. Like I said, that's the new goal for the new year, not wasting time. And I'm going to show you a few things. Now, for those of you who haven't been following my year-end reviews and videos over the past, just to introduce you to this, last year, 2017 year-end review, if you want to check it out, the footage is there in my archives last year that I open up, and I open in my buddy's warehouse, and I show you in his warehouse where some of my games are kept for storage. Now, because of some reasons and busy and a lot of things in the back end, I couldn't get to his warehouse and show you it, but all it is my games like they were before, but a few of them have been moved, which I'll show you shortly, and just they're in tarps. And I can't even show you them anyway. So what I'm going to do, a little different this year, just to show you what I have, because I know looking at blankets is whack, as you can tell. I'm going to show you right now, we're going to cut away to some still photos of my buddy's warehouse, what games I have there, and then I'm going to show you a picture of what the game looks like uncovered that I had years ago. So I'm going to show you the picture, what it looks like, and then I'm going to go through them all, and I'm going to do a voiceover as well to tell it as well. That's the first step. The second step, after I get to the, after I show you my buddy's warehouse, I'm going to go to my parents' house, which I also have some games and that are also covered, and I'm going to do the same. Thereafter, we're going to come back to the apartment. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to actually take the blankets off and show you the games actually being played and about the pickup and the story. So let's jump in right into it. All right, so this is my buddy's warehouse. Where I'm pointing, that's on top of one of the rooms he has, and under that I have this, which is my neo-geo 6-slot, original dedicated. Games I have in the 6 slot are Art of Fighting, World Heroes, Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, Bust-A-Move, and the 161-in-1 cart. Now next, moving to another part of the warehouse. Kind of an ugly shot, but that's behind a lot of different equipment of my friends. Under there I have a dedicated original Killer Instinct 1, which also has the flash instead of the CD-ROM. Works perfectly. Now I'm moving under where you saw my Neo Geo. This is a bad picture, but this is where I'm housing another 3 games covered in tarp. I know it looks ghetto. First I have my Killer Instinct 2 original dedicated. Again, I have this flash ROM instead of the CD-ROM for the original PCB. But I still have the hard drives. Next, beside it is an original dedicated Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. Again, works great. And then lastly is my Street Fighter 3 Third Strike with the multi-BIOS that plays all PSC, PS3 games. My first big restore, which I botched. Alright, so here we are in my parents' garage. Very familiar. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you know this garage has been and still is the holding for a few of my games. So let's get right to it. Obviously they're covered for the winter and for safety, I guess, whatever, just not to be ruined until the ultimate move, hopefully when I get a place. So, and now obviously you're going to say, Steve, what the hell am I looking at? You know, you just showed us in your buddy's warehouse. So under this, I'm not going to undo it, is Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 1. Now, I'm going to cut right after we go downstairs, or right before we go downstairs. I'm going to cut to what the games actually look like, not covered, so you guys can see, as I did in my buddy's warehouse just prior. So again, this is where I have them kept. Now again, about my buddy's warehouse really quick. He's getting very busy, like I mentioned, and he may, I hope not, ask me to move my stuff. I just don't have a choice. And I would have to move them here. The problem with that is it won't fit, because stupid Street Fighter is so big, but it won't fit. So I'm going to have to maybe line them a few here And just even here where the barbecue and the table is, which I do not want, because then, you know, my parents are like, come on, man, it's a little too much. And I don't, they said they agreed to it if need be, but either way. So again, this is my parents' garage where 3 of my games currently are, hopefully not anymore, for storage. So again, let me cut to what the games actually look like uncovered. And then right after that, we'll head down to the basement where I have a few other games. This is my Street Fighter 1 Deluxe dedicated cabinet with prototype side art featured in 2017 Stephen King's It remake. Next, under the covers is a Mortal Kombat 1 dedicated original. Plays and works great. And then lastly, in the corner to the right is the sequel, which is Mortal Kombat 2. Again, original dedicated cabinet and works and plays great. All right, so here's part of my parents' basement. Now I've changed a few things here since my last video. Please welcome in. So in the corner, again, usual suspect is the Double Dragon. I brought some of my stuff that I had in storage in my apartment. And just organized the room, so in case I have to fit something down here. That monitor, did I show you that monitor? That monitor was given to me by my brother-in-law's wife's brother. I don't know, apparently it says it needs a new flyback, but that's a Hanorex, so who knows, that's good. There's right here the Pachinko slot machine, Antonio Inoki. And then here is my Miss Pac. Now again, this is, actually that's kind of, it's been actually a pretty emotional few days. I've been at my parents just filming and just staying with them and reminiscing about my brother and Penny, and it's been hard. And this was all of his, a couple of collectibles, there's others, but anyways. So yeah, that's Miss Pac-Man, just a few parts here and there. Just stuff, just storage again until hopefully I move. So anyways, now again, I know it's kind of ghetto and I apologize for this, but there's just no other way around it. I'll show you what the games look like without covering, because again, I'm not going to cover them. I can't turn them on. What difference does it make? So I'll show you what they look like uncovered. All right, so we're looking at my first cabinet I ever picked up. It's the Miss Pac-Man dedicated upright, pink T molding, as you can see. And then come to another original dedicated Double Dragon in the Tato cabinet. Definitely one of my favorite games when I was a kid. All right, lastly in the basement is the Antonio Inoki Suro Pachinko slot machine. It's the first game I picked up back in 2004 before I knew how big and how deep I was going to get in the hobby. So this was the embryo that really started it all. All right, so we're back in the apartment. As you can see, the games I have at my parents' and at my buddy's storage. Not the best way I want to display them, but again, there's just no option at the moment. Right here is the Sega Blast City. I've themed it Marvel vs. Capcom 2. If you guys haven't had a chance to see all the videos, you can. Just to give you a quick understanding, right there has a Raspberry Pi, which plays all Sega Naomi 1 and Sega Naomi 2 games in the GDR, plus like Sammy games as well. So that's Blast City. We'll turn that on momentarily. Next is the Hobbit Pinball. Hobbit Pinball LE. This is a Smog edition. We picked this one up late 2017. So that's the Hobbit Pinball. We'll turn that on momentarily. And then this is the Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition in a Vulix L, I guess, Repro Cab or a Cab or Chulix, but all the internals are legit. Everything else is legit. So just the shell, which I actually like because it does have the red, which fits top tier, and also the cool theme of the game. So we're going to turn that on as well. Let's get down the hall. All right, so let's start with the game we had last year. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pin, all restored and decked out. A few things I have to do to it. little odds ends, but nothing major. It still works perfectly. Perfect and plays very well. So here's the 3 pickups for this year. I guess I'll do them in order. First was the Super Sprint. Got that from Adriano. Again, all my videos are archived if you want to see them. Adriano restored it. Plays well. Again, little tweaks we have to do here and there. I have a list. Main thing is the monitor. Maybe recap it, but that won't come until I move out. So beautiful Super Sprint. Next, I got the Gottlieb Atlantis EM, electrical mechanical pinball machine. Beautiful game, especially for its era. Almost nowhere, like 99, 95%, if not even better. Barely see anything. I do have to clean it up though, admittedly. Now the some cabinet touch-ups I have to do. I've been told to leave it alone because it gives it that edge, but we'll see, because I do want it to look nice. So that's Gottlieb's Atlantis. This was my third pin. And then my latest pickup was the Swords of Fury. My first Williams game. More videos on this coming up. So yeah, after this video I have another few. I have the Atlantis Part 5 gameplay. And then I have Swords of Fury memories and gameplay. So another 3 videos combined with all these guys. Again, I got this from Adriano as well. Really good play field again. Needs a little touch up here and there. Nothing too crazy, again, like right there for an example, but we'll get to that later on. I do want to clean it up and maybe add a few things, but we will be doing that in the new year. I've already planned it. So this is going to be the next restore, quote unquote. Pretty mild, very cosmetic. Again, you can tell here's the coin door, you know, there's wear there. Now this is just temporary as a template. I have an official sticker colored as well I want to put in, plus I want to color that black with the hammer finish, you know, to match that. So that's going to come. Going to fix some of these little things here, odds and ends. That's coming in the new year. So that's all the games that I have. I think it's a total of, 18? 4 pins, 1 slot machine, and what does that make? 4 or 5, and then 13 vids? That makes sense? So, yeah. Now, futures of the apartment until I move out. I do have room for, and if I move that over, I have room for probably a modern stern, because they have a smaller head. But again, that's where my window is, and my landlord has to get to the window, you know, for safety. So if I put one here, I don't want him to tell me to move it. And I kind of like, you know, the room. That's where I have some of my stuff. There's again some of my restore I'm already preparing. I just don't really want. I don't know. I just don't really want another one. If I had to, I will, but I don't. This room's pretty much done. Let me quickly show you. If you said, okay, Steve, now the only game that I would get, only because of rarity, is RoboWar. So I had a leak. Did I tell you guys this? I had a leak. See, and then, you know, these fell, and I had to throw away the couches. That's why I only have the 1 couch, not my 2, and it was dirty. So again, I'm not going to replace them. I got this from my parents for free. It was in their garage. I do have room for another game here, believe it or not. I'm going to have to move the kitchen table over, and I don't want to. I think it's very, a little lame to have it there. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, it's going to be there. It's a little crowded. I'll be honest, it's getting a little crowded in here. But I'd have to move that table over. And I don't know. We'll see. There's a few things I have in mind, but that's only if I get a RoboWar. There's no other game that I'm going to get. And, you know, that's a good segue, because why don't we get right into it? So you guys have seen all my games. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to sit you down, and let's have a chat. Let's talk. I'm going to have my cigar customary and a drink for a good end of the year. It's ending okay. The beginning was very terrible, and I'll explain that for those that you don't know. So let me set you up, and let's talk. Well, all right, everyone, that's it. You've seen my buddy's warehouse, my parents' garage, my parents' basement, and also the apartment. So that is my collection as of now, the end of 2018. It's been a very interesting year. Let's have a drink to that. My younger brother, or my brother, bought me this. It's a Highland Park 12 Viking Arner. Very nice. It's a nice whiskey. My younger brother is big in whiskey right now. One day I'll do a review with him, but our schedules are not meeting up. So let's have a drink to that. I'm also going to be smoking a Perdomo or Perdomo. I'll leave it in the description. Lot 23 Nicaraguan cigar. I got these in Allentown when I went. If you guys want to check that out, that video's there as well in my archives. It was 2018 Allentown. That was fun. Am I planning to go back? Probably. We'll see. The dollar right now is brutal with the American dollar. We're getting killed in Canada. But I think we'll go back. There's a few things I may want to get. I don't know. You know what? I'm not sure yet. I do want to go because it's more fun. It's not even about the pinball. It's about the camaraderie. So let's light this up. Like we always do. Let the sulfur burn. 2, 3. Perfect light, one match. Normally I toast it, but I don't want to take too long. Let's take a swig of this. Beautiful. Very smooth, very nice whiskey. My brother did a good job. Okay, so you've seen my games. I haven't seen a lot of those games in a while too, which is sad. And don't get me wrong, I don't like it either. Like, you must be saying, Steve, man, really? They've been sitting there? How do you tempt it? I have no choice. It's been a crazy year. First of all, this year's gone like this. Instantly gone. Started off very poorly, and then it got very bad and tragic, and then it got even worse. I mean, it's been a very rough year. For those of you who don't know and watching me for the first time, my videos are it's in the special presentations playlist and archives I have on my channel. On February 2nd of this year, 2018, I've told the story before, and this is my third time doing this because I was crying. But I'll get through it and push forward. My older brother Mike passed away suddenly of a heart attack at 40 years old. I still don't believe it. It still hurts. It always will hurt. My parents still cry daily, especially my mom. My brother's daughter, who's now 3, just turned 3, still asks for him, which is even more sad. 3 weeks after that, my godmother, who was at Mike's funeral, and as a support, also suddenly died of a brain aneurysm. She was 52. Way too early for both. It's been a bad year. Like, yes, I picked up 2 pinball machines and an arcade machine. Yes, my wife and I came back from our best vacation ever. But these are things that just, along the way that made things feel better. Made it feel better. Knock on wood, I've ended the year off strongly with my wife. Again, knock on wood. Financially, the big thing on this channel, my big thing on this channel is how can I say this? The next two, if you look at my 2017 video, it's similar, and the same things I want, I'm still wanting. So part of me feels like it's defeat, but another part of me is laughing, saying it's just the beginning. Well, Steve, what do you mean by that? My wife and I were planning to move out and start looking for homes. We're in December of 2018. Now, there are wheels in motion, and that hasn't stopped. Like, I'm actually looking. There's a few houses I've looked at, but the reason I haven't jumped on it is the market. Now, we can be here for 2 hours and no one's going to agree, or everyone's going to have their own opinion. I'm not here for that. I know people, individuals, that have fought against the influx and the general populace thought of get a house now, it's never going to go down. Anyone that knows the housing, and I can show them stats, but it's not my intention. The housing market in the Greater Toronto area is getting slammed. You won't read it in the paper, you won't see the full effects, because the amount of money the housing market makes, real estate agents, inspectors, contractors, carpenters, my dad, who's a painter, everyone's affected. And the amount of toll that's going to take on the economy will put us into a deep recession. The next year is going to be an election year. It's political. Okay, Steve, you're going rambling. I get it. Blah, blah, blah. I know I said it last year. It's annoying. I want to be out of here. Certain things have happened with my wife's and I career. Again, knock on wood, we've done very well. Worked hard, every penny we worked for. Nothing came easy or free. With that being said, we, and I mean it this time, next year, this time, we'll be in a position to buy a home. We'll have a big enough down payment. Mind you, I have a big down payment now, but remember, my vision, though sounds selfish, it is my goal. I need a big basement. And a big basement often needs you a big house. I'm in Canada. We have basements for people that are in the lower states or people in other countries that don't have basements and either have to have another big room or a barn or a shed. It's maybe hard to understand, but I think you get it where I say that I need room, period. For my vision, I need room. What I've done in the back end, which I'll show you maybe one day, is I have 3 tiers. I have low tier, mid tier, and top tier. Well, Steve, what does that mean? I've been realistic. When we're on vacation, I remember my wife was asleep on the beach and I was just doodling on my phone, and have created 3 scenarios. And 5 scenarios. One super extreme low tier, mid tier, top tier, and then an extreme high. What I mean by that is, if something goes astray, I know as well as anyone now, and no one can tell me nothing, how delicate life is, because my brother and my godmother went like this. 2 seconds. So, with God's grace, if you believe, or good luck, or just living and being safe, hopefully we'll all reach one of these. If something happens and I get rid of all my games as an emergency, I have that in place. If I have a smaller basement and I have to cut 60% of my collection, now I'll keep what I have now, but if I have to only get certain games, I'll do that. The mid-tier one is probably the most realistic, where I cut some games, and there's top tier the way I want it, and then there's like ultra tier, which is like I win money, or we have a mansion and then I can get another 20 games on top. But I'm not going to even think of that. All I want to do now is enjoy life as much as I can with my wife and family and friends, and see where life takes us. So, 2019, here's what's coming out 100% without, barring anything happens. I have part 5 of Atlantis gameplay. I know it's kind of weak. Part 4 of Swords of Fury, Memories, weaker. I have part 5 of Swords of Fury pin gameplay, whatever. Those are easy vids. Those 3 for sure. You'll probably see those in January to round out the month. I have a few game room tours and bars and whatever I want to do as well that I have on the list for sure. I have friends' game rooms that we were in talks of doing it. Another thing we're going to do for sure is I'm going to do a light restore on the Swords of Fury. So coin door, I say it in my part. If you look at the cabinet review in my pickup, if you want to go to it and see the details, it's there. What I'm going to do to it. Ideally, in a nutshell, I'm going to do the coin door. I'm going to touch up the side of the cabinet. I'm going to add some more lighting and brighten it up a little and touch it up here and there, and that's it. Next, I don't know if I'm going to restore Atlantis. My initial thought was to wait until I get a home, so then I have an open garage in my driveway because there's asbestos in the game. If you guys want to know what that's about, check out part 2, the cabinet of Atlantis EM. And because I'm in such a confined space, I know what I want to do, but I just don't have, especially now with Super Sprint and the other 2 pins, I don't have the room, period. So actually, you know what? No, Atlantis is going to be one of these restores that shouldn't be difficult, shouldn't be, and then, or really long, because it's pretty basic. Again, I want to clear the playfield, clean the playfield, add more lighting. I know people are against the incandescent. It is what it is. I want real bright lights. I want to modernize it. I know that's almost counterintuitive, but so be it. So, really, the only restore I'm going to do really is Swords of Fury. Maybe 2-3 parts most. Maybe probably only 2. Maybe 3. I don't know. 2-3 parts I'll do. Again, I'm going to be doing my videos a lot quicker now. No repeats. And then gameplay videos. I'm going to be doing for sure gameplay videos on the Vuelix because I have a multi-SD card. And then it plays more games, which are awesome. And then I have my Naomi games and my, there's other Sammy games as well. Fist of the North Star things that I want to review, and I can't. I was going to do it this year, but again, 4 months of my brother and Penny dying, I didn't do it. So gameplay games coming, a little more lighthearted. The big one is, Steve, are you going to get a pickup? There's something I'm looking at right now that I've been looking at for a month. It's not an arcade machine or an amusement machine at all. Again, part of the grand vision. What I'm doing right now is kind of a hint, but it'd be impossible for you to guess. I'm not going to even give you a hint other than what I'm doing now, only because it's so unique. And so like, what the hell? I want it, but timing-wise and Steve, where you're going to put it wise, and what's that about? Like, Marriott's part of the grand scheme of things. She trusts me. She knows. But again, timing is not the greatest, but it never is in this hobby. It's always the worst time the game comes you want, or whatever you want. I might even have to put it in my bedroom. So there might be something I might be getting in the next month. Of course, I'm going to do it, but it won't be like an arcade, like a review. It's going to be pretty much a pickup video and just like an overall review of the unit, we'll say. What else? The channel's grown pretty good. I'm up to almost 500 subscribers. Again, when it comes to online, I'm a nobody, but slow and steady, that's fine. Again, I know once I start to show pics and display it, a lot of people were even saying, yo, I want to, subscribe, but, it's a little weak. And I agree. I'm the first to say the content's not always the best, but they're consistent. They're usually weekly. I have something. You get to see me and you see my progression. Remember, I'm learning with you. Don't think that I'm sitting here and I know always what I'm doing. Often I'll go online and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Or I'll find out how to fix that. And we're learning together. And that doesn't change. One thing I give me is honest. This is me. Some people don't like it. They find me offensive. Fine. Others don't think I should be smoking and drinking. Fine. Others don't think I should be swearing. Also fine. Others think that I should get out of the hobby because I'm an asshole and I'm a piece of shit. No problem. It's not going to stop unless an emergency. So, there's, okay. something's coming up, which I can't tell you. Something has happened, which I can't reveal. The part that is a pain in the ass, as much as I want to tell you and reveal it and show you, won't be for a pretty long while. Maybe the end of 2019. It's cool, I can tell you that. So that's one thing. There's things in behind the scenes. There's also things that are a little political, about the hobby, about where I keep my stuff and what's going on with family and friends. Can't really explain, and if I do, you wouldn't understand the full context. So Steve, are you going to pick up a new game? Last year you said maybe one or maybe none. I bought 3. This year, here's the only pinball machine I'll buy this year. Let me just tell you. If I have the opportunity to buy a RoboWar because of its rarity, I would put it in that corner how I showed you, near the chairs. It's a little ghetto, fine, I'll leave it there, move the kitchen table. I'll have a RoboWar there, and that's it. Yeah, but Steve, you always say that. I know. RoboWar would come in the apartment. That other thing that's not a machine would be in the apartment, I think, only because my parents and just hearing them in my buddy's warehouse, I'm not able to put more because he's busy. I can probably fit it. I can't tell you. There won't be that many pickup this year. There won't be. Yes, it's upsetting. Yes, I know I say that. The only pin I will buy, I always say this and then it turns on me, unless like, you know, one of my pins come up and it's $3,000, like it's 2005 pricing. I'm not gonna get. I'm gonna wait. I want to buy a house. I'm not dicking around anymore. My wife and I are tired of waiting. But again, ooh, good cigars. See, the ash is not coming out. I have a lot coming. Don't give up on me. Believe me, it's gonna make sense. This year's gonna be a little lighthearted. A lot of gameplay reviews, fun ones. More hopefully on tours. No real pickups, unless something crazy happens. You never know. Like I said, life can turn on a dime. Only pin is RoboWar. The only thing I might get is that thing I want to buy, which I won't. I'm only not telling you because I don't know if it's going to really happen. It's a 50-50. The only vid I will buy, but it'll be my parents' garage, is Mortal Kombat 3 cabinet. It's original, which I'll make a UMK3. If I see one and the price is good, I'm buying it. It's the only one that I want to get right now to get it out of my head. It's hard to find. If you know where one is, let me know. Not a conversion, the original. That's fine. What else? Hopefully the channel grows bigger. I always like to share it. I'm sure we'll get past 500 subscribers in the next month or so. We're close. If there's anything you guys want to see, leave in the comments. Anything you want to see specifically, keep in mind, my parents' garage and basement are limited, and my buddy's warehouse is untouchable. I can't get there. I know they're my games, but again, a lot going on in the back end that you'd have to meet me and I'd explain to you, and you'd be like, oh my god, yeah. It's untouchable at the moment. You know what? I don't want to ramble. It's been a great 2018, opposed to, you know, it's been brutal, but opposed to the passing of my family members. A lot of you have given support, friends of mine that I watch the channel that I know personally, and YouTube subscribers and viewers. Thank you for everything. I really mean that. You've been very supportive. I know a lot of you don't know me personally. I hope I don't come off like an asshole. I really don't think I am. People that meet me that think I'm like, oh my god, sorry Steve, I was dead wrong. Not to say I'm perfect by any means. We ended the vacation, with the vacation. My wife and I celebrated our 10-year anniversary. Great. We had such a great time. That's leading us into the new year. I don't know. 2019, I say this every year. I'm not going to lie. It's actually getting a little silly. 2019 is going to be, I think, an interesting year. And I think, remember, because even if I buy a house in December, in a career, I won't be able to, for the most part, move in for like 60 to 90 days. I don't know how it is in the US or overseas, but Canada is usually 60 or 90 days. You can do it less or more, but usually 60 days. Or 90, I can't remember. Because, yeah, even if I buy a house in December, I won't be moving out till February. End of Feb, so who knows? What else? Have I missed anything? Thank you to everyone. Subscribe if you haven't had a chance. More coming. What I'll do is I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to have a nice cigar and just relax, have a drink. This is a toast to my brother Mike, who passed away, and to Penny, my godmother, that passed away shortly after. My thoughts are always with you. My prayers, you're always in. You will forever be ingrained in my heart and the hearts of many. Thank you for the experiences that you've given me, life lessons, whether it's fighting or laughing. For anyone that's lost anyone, I feel your pain. I do. For anyone that goes through anything, I understand. Steve, hey, what up? You gone through some shit? Email me. It's at the bottom. Hey, Steve, I want to run some by you. Email me. The worst thing I'll say is I don't know, but I'll try my best. Cheers to everyone out there for a great 2018. Even despite the emotional heartbreak and setbacks, we move forward strong. We will move forward with courage, compassion, and love. We fight to make things better in a better world and a crazy place. Thank you again for checking out Top Tier. My name is Steve. Cheers to your families. A cigar for the forgotten. And what I'll do, as I promised, I'm going to finish up really quick. I'm going to turn all my games on. I'll show you with all the games on. It's the first time I've actually done this. I'm going to turn all the games on. Then I'm going to turn all the lights off. And then we'll see what it looks like with all the games on, with all the lights off. Because now it's winter and it's dark. So thank you again for checking out Top Tier. Give me a sec. Let me turn this off. I'll show you. And I'll say my final goodbye after that. Alright, so a cigar in hand. Here's what the games look turned on. I forgot to turn the sound, the demo sound of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Street Fighter 4. Get to the other room. Whew, it's warm in here already. Loud ass fan on the Super Sprint. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Swords of Fury. And Atlantis. So that's what it looks like on, which is kind of cool. Pee-wee's Playhouse with a million games. More to come. I'm gonna turn the lights off in a sec. I'll cut to it with everything with the lights off and see what that looks like, because I've never seen it before. All right, here's what it looks like with all the lights off. Wow, these really emit a lot of light. A lot of light. Only in that corner where there's not really. See, in this room almost looks like it's a real night light. A lot of light in here. Look at that, a lot of light. And these are not really fully LED'd yet. Turtles is. Swords of Fear, look how dark that is compared. That'll change. It's still a dark game. Look at that. Very cool, huh? Alright, look guys. Video's long enough. You understand where I'm coming from, where I've been, and where I'm going. Like I said, cigar to all you Drink to all you. I thank you again for checking out Top Tier. Let me know if you need anything. Always happy to help. And lend a lending hand. That makes no sense. Thanks again. Peace. See you in 2019.